You play to win the game.
Coming at you live in the heart of Lincoln, America.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
On air and online at theticketf.com. Here are your hosts, Jay Bachman and Enrique Alvarez Cleary.
We are back at it for another week here on the Ticket Water Cooler. They have extended our show one more week. Kind of surprising, but we'll take it when we can.
Wow. So proud of us.
Yeah.
We continue to do great things.
Well, great. It might
we
be,
continue to do things.
Yeah, we're doing things. We're going to do more things this week here on the Ticket Water Cooler.
Come on, Bach, give yourself some credit.
I know, I'm just messing. You like to, the self-deprecating humor. That's
it's great.
That works well with people.
That's okay. Everybody knows that I know that I'm great. So
right, you're not so much self-deprecating too often.
Only sometimes. I know that I'm the best, so I just got to make sure that other people, feel better about themselves.
No, that is.
I'll put put myself down a little bit, but everybody knows that I know that I am great.
Well, if self-talk and positive talk, that helps you out. There's nobody that'll tell you that's a bad thing.
100%.
So.
Every morning, telling all of you, everybody out there in the Ticketverse.
That's right.
As Bach calls it. Every morning when you wake up, look in the mirror, tell yourself that you're beautiful, handsome, whatever.
Right. You got this.
And then just go about your day.
Yeah.
That's it. Just real quick. Just look at yourself and be like, dang, you are gorgeous. And then that's it. You're good to go for the rest of the day.
If you have a bad productivity, I heard it's helpful to just write down like 6 things that you want to get down in the day. And then I've heard recently too, and it just depends on what you're looking at, but some people believe multitasking is not the way to go. If you multitask, you do everything okay. But if you got 6 things, you start with 1, get it done, move it out of the way, do it the best of its ability, move on to task number 2.
Well, speaking of a task that you should definitely put on your list, that would be following 93.7 The Ticket on Twitter.
Absolutely.
And clearing out your Sunday. If you had any plans, scrap them. Unless your plan was to head out to Buffalo Wings and Rings and hang out with everybody from 93.7 The Ticket and watch yourself some great Super Bowl action, possibly win yourself some prizes, and get yourself some delicious food from Wings and Rings.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to that party, and we're giving out Super Bowl squares on every show. If you don't understand Super Bowl squares, we give out 100 of them. That's kind of a long process to talk about, but you get a certain number, matches up the same, the score is the ending number. We'll let you know.
Yep.
It's kind of confusing to run through.
Look, we've got
you need a Super Bowl square to have a chance to win, basically.
We've got 100 squares. Each one has a corresponding number. And at the end of each quarter, and obviously at the end of the game, if your number matches up with if it's double digits, the final number of each team's score, then you get yourself a square.
Yeah.
You're in the square. You get yourself a prize. Yeah. My bad. You get yourself a prize if you're in that square that matches up. So you want a square? You know what you can do? Follow 93.7 The Ticket on Twitter at 937 The Ticket, and shoot us a tweet letting us know that you did said task, and we'll put your name on a Super Bowl square.
Yeah, we have 3 to give away. The first people to do so, to go follow the ticket and tweet out that you followed the ticket, we will give you a Super Bowl square. So if you want a chance to win these great prizes, you're gonna have to have a square. We'll give out squares all week long. But just even if you don't happen to get a Super Bowl square, we'd also appreciate it. We're trying to drive up the Twitter following there as well. Rigo, how's your Twitter following doing lately? It's always good to we're talking about our self-confidence and
my
really,
Twitter following.
People love to get their own Twitter.
You know what's really breaking me right now is that I have 1,676 followers. Sounds good, right? Nicholas is catching up. I don't appreciate that. I really don't appreciate that. He gets the boost from doing early break for a week. He gets a boost from being on with AD and Wrath.
Oh, yeah.
He goes to all the football pressers, takes a picture, puts out a quote. All of a sudden, he's gone viral a couple of times in the Husker Twitter world for his dumb tweets that are actually pretty good tweets, but they're dumb because I don't like the fact that he's going. But he's catching up to being followers, and I don't appreciate that. Because I do Twitter better than Nick does.
You believe so?
I know so. I Twitter better than Nick does.
And how is he going viral?
He's following because he's one of the pressers. The pressers are always at like noon. I can't go to the presser. I'm here with you.
That's right.
Sorry, I'm doing the show with you.
It's my fault that Nick is.
No, it's not your fault. It's Nick's fault.
Yeah,
he thinks he's cool. He's putting out the same tweets as everybody else, but somehow his go viral. I don't know why. But he's following. He's catching up, and I don't appreciate that. So you won't win a Super Bowl square, but follow me. That'd be great.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
This is just for my self-confidence.
Just to help Rico beat Nick.
Help me
even more.
Help me believe that I am as great as I say I am.
My Twitter
That's
following
at Radio Rico AC.
My Twitter following has been stuck at 1900 something for so long. I at one time was a real goal to get to 2000, and then I just once I was around there, I was like, that's fine.
You just gave up.
I kind of like years, so if I have like a, if I have like a 1950, I go back to 1950. Look what's going on.
You're at 1960.
1960s. Yeah, I'm moving up in the world too. Give me a follow.
You're only following 754 people. Look at you.
Do you follow more people?
I do actually, because I went on this like binge back in 2012. Hashtag Track Nation was a thing. So like all the people that did track or watched track were following each other.
Oh yeah.
That's why I got a lot of my followers. And why I follow so many people. So we were just following each other left and right, making tweets and all this stuff. It was a fantastic time. But yeah, that's why I follow so many people. I follow almost 100 more people than I am being followed by.
It's always weird because I try to follow pretty much everybody that I think is relevant enough to follow, and I'm always surprised when I see somebody that I didn't follow. I was like, oh man, I missed it. But it does happen. So if I'm not following you, don't feel like you're not relevant.
Hey, it's okay, everybody. You don't have to unfollow Nick. It's okay. You can continue to follow.
You can unfollow.
You can. And it'd be hilarious. But Nick has some okay tweets, so you can keep following him. And I'm not begging, Sybil's hamster. I would never beg.
No.
I'm just saying, make me feel better about myself by following me.
Help put a smile on Rico's face. That's what you can
do
today. We'll check up on that
for just a follow.
Here.
For just a follow, you can make Rico smile.
Right. It costs you nothing. Just a few minutes of your time. Nebraska football, obviously under Matt Rule, off to a good start and really exciting. I think part of the reason for the excitement, at least for me, is that with this plan to go with huddles and fullbacks, they've inherited a roster that actually can work a little bit with that if they get the offensive line built up front. Obviously, that's the big question mark. But as far as the running back room goes, they basically inherited a roster they like and didn't have to recruit too much more to it. So top 25 returning running backs for the college football season, 24/7 did a poll. Anthony Grant is obviously he nearly got 1,000 yards, really fell off the last couple of games as far as productivity. Obviously without Casey Thompson there, a lot of that was, was just game planning, probably shut down Anthony Grant, make the quarterback beat you. And so I wondered if he would quite make the list. There are 8 Big Ten running backs on the top of the list. And number 1, of course, is Blake Corum, number 1 in the nation.
As it should be.
Yeah. Nearly a Heisman, probably would have won the Heisman Trophy winner if he had Donovan Edwards' productivity from Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. I think he would have won it.
I truly think he had I want to say, and maybe this is just me being like a big homer, I want to say he was either number 2 or number 1 going into those last couple of games. If he doesn't get hurt and he puts up his regular numbers, I truly believe not only would he have been in New York, but I think he might have been able to win it, considering that they won the Big Ten. They were conference champions. USC was not. So I think that might have put him ahead of Caleb Williams. But again, that could be just me being a Big Ten homer. But I just the season that he had, granted, they've been giving it to quarterbacks for the past 8 years.
Well, and I don't know, again, how much do you want to give him credit? I would definitely consider him one of the best college football players returning, like this list says. I think partially why he would have won Heisman is because he's at Michigan. I mean, that's kind of why Aiden Hutchinson, in my mind, got to number 2. Part of it's the brand. Part of it's the story. Michigan was undefeated. If you remember going in Big Ten champs, would have beaten Ohio State. That's always the game everybody kind of focuses on. If he would have had a touchdown, a big moment in that game, I think part of it, but part of it is the bias of not the Big Ten, but Michigan.
Yeah, I'm best player on the. It's supposed to go to the best player in college football, but it's had been going to the best player on the best team for quite some time now. Which honestly, it would have gone to Stetson Bennett. That would have continued the tradition of that, but it ended up going to Caleb Williams and continues the Lincoln Riley makes Heisman quarterbacks trend alive. But Blake Corum, if you wanted to go best team, best player, he had a a massive right to that because of what Michigan was doing this season, going into the Big Ten championship game, dominating Ohio State and winning the Big Ten. If he were to stay healthy and just put up regular numbers, I mean, Donovan Edwards' numbers were amazing, but if he would have just put up his regular numbers, that would have, to me, cemented his Heisman candidacy and at least taken him to New York.
Well, he's going for another one. He's coming back for college football. I think college football is better.
What was his injury again, though?
I can't remember. I remember when he did get injured.
Yeah,
he kind of went to the sideline.
Because if it was a knee or like some ligaments in the ankle, like it's going to be hard to. I mean, you have a couple of months to get ready for the start of the season, but if he doesn't play every game, it's going to be hard for him to be a finalist, especially at the running back position.
Well, and he's been part of a duo there, and that will continue with Donovan Edwards, who, by the way, is number 5 in the list of top returning running backs in college football. Yeah, so I mean that's part of the reason there wasn't a big drop off when Corum left. Is Edwards stepped up and was fantastic. Number 4 on the list, the only non-Michigan running back in the top 5 from the Big Ten was Braylon Allen. Very interested to see what happens with him as Wisconsin transitions to more of an air raid passing attack.
There's no way you
factors into that.
No matter, even if you become an air raid passing attack at Wisconsin, like there's no way you have a running back that talented as Braylon Allen, and you don't hand him the ball at least 25 times, right? Like I understand, I don't understand because he was having a great season, but I understand at Nebraska, not handing the ball off that many times to your running back because of the talent that you had at quarterback when Casey was healthy, and at wide receiver with Trey Palmer. But I don't know the quarterback wide receiver skills or how good they're going to be up at Wisconsin, but I do know for a fact that they have Braylon Allen, who is going to be a first-round draft pick at the running back position. That's a guy that you need to feed the rock, even if you want to pass the ball more.
Yeah, and I thought he kind of had somewhat of a down season. Of course, Nebraska nearly beat Wisconsin by basically eliminating Braylon Allen from the game, hurting him. He had been dinged up going into that game. Partially for that's part of the down season that he had was just injuries getting in the way. But he certainly is a great running back. The Big Ten, well represented in the top 8 here. Number 6 is Nick Singleton from Penn State. Don't need to spend too much time on him, I suppose, because Nebraska does not play Penn State this upcoming year in the regular season until the Big Ten title game, of course. And then,
of course, obviously,
a couple other running backs for the Big Ten. Nebraska not scheduled to face Mayan Williams, who stepped up for Travion Henderson over there at Ohio State. He's in number 7, and number 8 is Travion Henderson. So Ohio State and Michigan with 2 running backs in the top 8 as far as top running backs returning in college football altogether. Very, very cool. And of course, the Big Ten, as we saw last year, basically the running back league. You lose a lot. Chase Brown's out the door, Mo Ibrahim's out the door, so you lose kind of some of the guys, the top end there. But if you're doing a list of top returning running backs, you might want to start with some Big Ten schools. Interestingly enough, here's a name I don't know how many people know at number 16, Roman Hemby. Nebraska will play Roman Hemby. He is at Maryland. He had nearly 1,000 yards with them. So he made the list. Only other running back, the top 25 from the Big Ten, which rounds out at 8. Is it Anthony Grant? It is not. His number 25 is Caleb Johnson from Iowa, who Nebraska saw their freshman running back came on late for them.
Oh, come on.
So they like his upside. So 8 Big Ten running backs in the top 25 returning in 24/7 sports. You can certainly argue that Anthony Grant could be in there. Nobody would bat an eye.
That's just because the Iowa running back ended the season on a higher note. I don't care about the end of the season. Look at the entire season. Anthony Grant had a great season.
But I think that too is part of the question. I mean, 4 or 5 games remaining, you would think that he would be not just on this list, maybe a top 15 type of running back, at least, and then just kind of fell off toward the end. How much does that bother you going into this year? Now, the good news for Nebraska is if Anthony Grant does fall off, A.J. Allen looks like he's going to be there. Nebraska has their own pair. And then you have Ramir Johnson, who led the team in rushing, 2 years ago.
Gabe Irvin, who was your starter 2 years ago.
Who started. So, I mean, they've got a great room, so you're not worried about it overall. Do you think Anthony Grant's the best of the group?
I want to say yes, because I feel like he does everything at a pretty high level. I also feel like AJ Allen did everything at a pretty high level, but he is the only one of the guys that started a game this last season. he is the only one that is coming back without an injury. Like, and he's not coming back off of an injury, off of surgery or anything. He's the only one coming back healthy per se, because going through that entire season as a running back in the Big Ten, I'm sure that there's a couple injuries, a couple nicks and dings that you're dealing with as the season goes on. But if he was the starter last year, I feel like he was the best of the bunch. Granted, it's a new coaching staff now. Maybe they're looking at different things, and with a different offense, depending on what they're going to run, what they're asking of their running backs, he could be the second or third best option. But to me, I believe that everything that he does and the way that he's able to run the ball with conviction, run behind his shoulder pads, and also being able to put his foot in the ground and make people miss. I think that he is still the best of the bunch, and I would say that he's the starter going into the season. But as you just said, if he goes down, I'm not that worried. If he gets injured, it would suck because I still want to see what he can do through a full season of actually being used. But if he ends up going down, AJ Allen, Ramir Johnson, I still feel like those guys will be able to offer you just enough or a decent amount of level to Anthony Grant at the running back position.
Yeah, and two, I think a lot of it you're kind of looking at how much does Nebraska want to go with this no huddle group, fullbacks. How much of that is going to be a large amount of carries on Anthony Grant? Because if you remember last year, a lot of complaints from Husker fans, just not enough ball given to Anthony Grant. They wanted to see him get the ball more. Of course, with the coaching staff that they had last year, Coach Whipple likes to give his playmakers the ball. That's kind of what we heard. Trey Palmer clearly became kind of that guy, although he didn't have too many targets in certain games either. We know the struggles of that offense down the stretch, but Anthony Grant started 4 out of the first 5 games with 100+ yards. And then the last several games, or what is it, 7 there, just one 100-yard rushing performance, 14 carries for 6 yards against Iowa. So that was kind of interesting to see how that kind of went. AJ Allen, of course, we're waiting to see how he returns off of injury. Certainly had a lot of potential, kind of showed out against Oklahoma. Ramir Johnson's really interesting to me because we mentioned he kind of got lost last season. They tried to do this. I guess it was probably the last form of Duck R that there was potentially a possibility there. But they didn't use him too much. They didn't get him the ball too much. And there was one notable game where he dropped a pass, and you just didn't see too much of him till the Iowa game. Mm-hmm. But I think that's a card that a lot of people in the Big Ten are kind of going to forget about. That's up Nebraska's sleeve. Ramir Johnson, maybe not the best at one individual thing, but a good all-around back that can certainly carry Nebraska if they need him.
Oh yeah. We have oh, wait a minute.
Oh, plenty of
So we have a guest in here.
So I smelled things.
Oh, you smelled things? That's a surprise.
People know that when I smell food, I kind of just
he comes running. He comes running. He floats like a
there you go.
He floats like all those cartoons. Like
I was pretending like I was working hard in the back room. And then I smelled wings.
Oh my goodness.
Well, there's wings, there's pizza. Let's talk about it. It's Taylor in from Lincoln's Pub. Taylor, how's it going? What did you bring us today?
Well, I brought some wings and some pizza and a salad. DP's treating you guys to some food. I heard that you really enjoyed the pepperoni.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I brought some superoni for you. DP likes the sausage.
Are a saint.
Oh yeah,
I really appreciate that. Is this so? This is this going to be some Lincoln's Pub goodies that people can order for the big game? Bring them over to their own house, or you can go out to Lincoln's Pub to enjoy themselves.
Yeah, we'll have the game on. We'll have some fun with that. But if you want to have some pizza, we got 16-inch pizzas. That's a Thai chicken pizza.
Thai chicken.
Yeah,
never heard of that. Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
Sweet chili sauce on there, cheese, chicken, carrots on top. It's a very interesting pizza. It's like a Chinese dish on a pizza.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
You guys got anything special going on this coming Sunday?
Not this Super Bowl. We got to work up for that, but I heard DP is going to have some Lincoln's Pub gift cards on his Super Bowl squares, which that sounds pretty cool to me. $50?
I believe so. $50 each. Yep, that's going to be so people can come out, win some Super Bowl squares with us at 93.7 The Ticket, and go out and get yourself some. Oh my gosh, what kind of wings are these right now? What am I looking at?
They look delicious.
I think those are the. I went buffalo, blackberry habanero, which I think Nick took.
Wow.
Of course he did.
And then that one might be the garlic ranch, which
Look
is
at that.
starting to get pretty popular at the pub.
Look at that,
Yeah.
everyone.
For those
Delicious.
that don't know, Lincoln's Pub, just great pizza. It doesn't. I mean, I don't know how to say this. I guess you'll probably have a better way of putting it, but it's unlike pizza that you'll find around town. I mean, it's absolutely delicious. There's a different kind of method you guys go about making it. Where is Lincoln's Pub for people that don't know?
Yeah, it's on 48th and Layton Avenue. It's on the ground level of the Flats Apartments. We've got a few restaurants there. We got Dak Shack, which has lobster rolls, fried chicken sandwiches. We just put some pool tables in there, dartboards. We got a little more entertainment to offer besides Lincoln's Pub, which is more the restaurant, and TVs, sports bar. And, we just do good wood fire pizza. We put our sandwiches on the wood fire bread, throw that in the wood fire oven, and they turn out awesome.
The wood fire, I don't know why wood fire just tastes so much better than any other type of pizza made anywhere else, but it does.
I don't get it either.
It's just fantastic. It's fantastic.
And I'll say this too, because I've had several different, things from Lincoln's Pub. There's some places I go to. I'm generally a guy, if I go to a restaurant, I'll find what I like. I'll zero in on it, and that's what I'm ordering every time I go for there for the next 15 years. Lincoln's Pub, though, I'm interested in, and everything I've tried is great and again, a little bit different. So it's like I'm interested in trying as much of the menu as I can.
Yeah. Well, I would try a lot of the wood fire sandwiches because I'd like to bring more of them here, but that'd just be too many sandwiches.
No such thing.
Yeah, true.
They will.
A lot easier to
They
share.
will get eaten. I'll let you know that.
Yeah.
We'll slice them up ourselves. We'll share them amongst everybody, but they will get eaten.
Yeah.
Before we end up going to a break, I want to ask you about the Super Bowl. Okay, Chiefs, Eagles. Who are you going for? What's your final score? Who's your MVP?
Wow. All right. Well,
There's a lot to throw at you.
Yep. I will be wearing a Patrick Mahomes jersey because I went to a Chiefs game and I bought a jersey, so I have to wear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think having 3 Huskers win a Super Bowl this year would be bad on campus the next few months for Matt Rule.
Yeah.
So I can't go wrong with the Eagles. They're looking pretty hot right now offensively. They got a good defensive line. The Chiefs are hurt, so I'm going to go. I think it might be kind of a blowout unless the Chiefs defense can step up. So I'm going to go 34-17 Eagles.
Oh, there
Wow.
you go. Doubling up. Who's your team? Who's your team in general?
Oh gosh, the Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Interesting.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Number 1 pick in the draft. That's an exciting year.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a Cardinals fan. So.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could be in a worse position.
Could he?
You guys got a solid foundation. The Bears just have Justin Fields.
Yeah.
You could build around Justin
I
Fields. You
think
just
we
have to
can.
actually build around Justin Fields.
I agree.
You have to kind of actually try and do that. Get an offensive line, get some more receivers, what have you. But yeah, just help him out a little bit.
So are you pro Justin Fields? You want to keep him or you want to draft a new quarterback?
I am pro Justin Fields. I
that's
think he's a
interesting.
great competitor, good leader.
Yeah. That's the question Chicago has to ask themselves.
I tried trading for Justin Fields on Madden. They would not accept Mac Jones at a first-round pick.
I wouldn't. Once again, he is Taylor from Lincoln's Pub. Brought us in some delicious food. Once again, you're going to want to get into these Super Bowl squares especially now that you know that
We
you
have
can
some
get
people we need to
Lincoln's
add
Pub,
on
too.
the
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah, we will. We'll do that during the break. Let you know who won. We also can try some Beatrice Bakery on the other side. So we're a little bit spoiled here today at the Ticket, and we love it. We'll be back here on the Ticket Water Cooler 93.7 Ticket. Jake Bachman here. How about my friends at Solarion? A lot of people understand what Solarion is all about or have some preconceived notions about it. But I participated in their studies for many years and keep going back for many reasons. First off, the staff always treats me well, makes me well aware of what I'm doing, and they're really knowledgeable and informative. That always gives me the comfort to keep going back. Some people do studies as often as they can, while others just look for ones that fit into their schedule. Last year, more than 1,700 people completed the screening process for a study. Whether you're a male or female and at least 19 years of age, you're eligible. If you're curious about how to earn up to $500 per day by participating in a research study at Solarion, check them out at helpresearch.com/new or call them at 866-213-2965. Once again, that's Solarion at 866-213-2965 or at helpresearch.com/new.
Come see the state's largest display of John Deere equipment at Acres Ag and Turf Expo. Acres Ag professionals and suppliers will be on hand to discuss techniques from tillage and planting to application and harvest. Also, don't miss a full lineup of John Deere mowers and compact tractors. Join us at Grand Island Fauna Park February 21st and 22nd, or the Lincoln Lancaster Event Center March 8th and 9th. Go to acres.com to request your free tickets today.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840. Schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hicks from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything from remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and plus. Bring your gear, trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Vershawn Jackson for Brent. Brent's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brent is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brent Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrentExcavating.com. They're also hiring. So join the team today. Brent Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go be great.
A new year means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa,
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Back to the Ticket water cooler. Rolling stop on ticket.com.
We are rocking out again here on the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket. Rico is hopefully going to be ready for this segment a little bit more hot than he expected.
I was not. I forget what wings Taylor said that he got, but I just, I took them out, I put them on my plate, so I had some sauce in my fingers, and all of a sudden my mouth was on fire for a second. Taylor, if you're listening, I really text it. What are the wings again? Texted it. I know one was like Buffalo Ranch. He said like one had like blackberry. I don't know. I don't remember. I think that's that one. I don't remember what this one is. This isn't the ranch one. That one was the one over there. This is whatever the hot one he said. I was not prepared. It's delicious. It's a great sauce, but I was not ready for the kick in my face.
Yeah. Well, if you want to get kicked in the face now.
If you want to get kicked in the face, I should see you Sunday at Buffalo Wings and Rings.
That's right. Rico's issuing a challenge, a fight.
I'll fight whoever.
We will.
Not like actual fight, like mind fight. Because we can't get in like a physical altercation at Buffalo Wings and Rings. They're welcoming us in. We want to be gracious hosts. We haven't run that by them. Maybe they can set up a ring outside. Maybe then we can fight, but I doubt that. So we'll like mentally spar. But yeah,
talk trash.
The big game, party at Buffalo Wings and Rings, 93.7 The Ticket. Come join us. Got the Super Bowl squares to give away, and I will fill that out because I would say we got our followers, but I want more on the Twitter sphere at 93.7 The Ticket. And also, if you have a TikTok, and look, all of you that are listening, not all of you, a good portion of you that are listening, I know you have TikTok. I know you just scroll through their mindlessly for hours. It's okay. I do the same thing. I find a lot of my cooking recipes on TikTok. It's actually a really good place for cooking recipes.
TikTok's so great because whatever you like,
it's there.
What it will show you.
Oh, it's 100% there. Follow us on TikTok at 93.7 The Ticket on there as well, I believe. Let me make sure that I'm not getting that wrong. So I'll open this up real quick. But yeah, follow us on there as well because sometimes we post some cool TikToks on the TikTok.
Yeah, we're learning. We're learning at the station how to talk.
93.7 The Ticket on the TikTok. I'm gonna keep saying the because it's just fun to say. We're at 795. Get us to 800 during this show.
Yeah,
get us to 800. TikTok 93.7 The Ticket.
We'll do some TikTok dance. Our TikTok dance.
Bach will do a TikTok dance that we will post.
There we go. Yeah.
If you get us to 800 before the end of the show,
it's gotta be an easy one. I don't know how to dance.
We'll figure it out for you.
Even what is that flossing? That was like 2014. I still don't know how to.
I'll teach you how to floss.
You know how to floss?
A little bit, not as fast as like some of the people, but I can floss.
Yeah, you get a little bit too. Like you said, Sunday's watch party, Buffalo Wings Ring 68-0. Game starts at 5:30. We're wrapping off all the prizes, so you want to get down there a little bit early because it fills up pretty quickly. Also on the show today, we have to try, and I shouldn't say after, we get to try some Beatrice Bakery chocolate-covered fruit squares. Is the milk chocolate one still here?
Yeah. Did you have one of those yet?
I've had the white chocolate, and I've had the dark chocolate now, so I think
I'll give you the milk chocolate. I'll try a dark chocolate. I might try white chocolate.
Oh, white chocolate was my favorite so far, so I'll try this milk chocolate one. I believe we have a few milk chocolate ones here in the studio if you want to get those. If you're interested in the white chocolate or dark chocolate as well, you should be, especially with, of course, a certain holiday coming up. You might want to check your schedule there. You can go and order that off of Beatrice Bakery, their website there. So we will try these so far. Yeah, I haven't had anything that have disappointed me yet. I'm going to go with milk chocolate. What do you have? Dark chocolate?
I got the dark chocolate right here. Check out this beautiful chocolate skills from the Beatrice Bakery, folks. Not the biggest fan of dark chocolate, but I'm going to do that. I like the chocolate-covered fruitcake squares are fantastic. So I don't think I'm wrong.
Oh yeah. See, that's the same way. I don't like the white chocolate one more than the dark chocolate one for anything other than I like white chocolate more than dark chocolate. But delicious.
Those are pretty good.
I'm a big milk chocolate fan.
Those are actually really good.
Oh, yeah.
And look, dark chocolate's good for your heart, or so I've been told. I don't know if it's actually true. I don't trust a scientist. I do trust a scientist, but still.
You know what I heard is that the like one glass of wine is good for your heart. That's like common thought. That was from like a study in the 80s. I guess that's been disproven, and that no level of alcohol is good for you.
No, I don't believe that. I don't do one glass of wine, but I was going to start at some point. I'm going to do it and just tell myself it's healthy.
Well,
I never said how big the glass
I just saw
had
it
to
on
be.
the internet, so I don't know if it's true or not. But I guess
that was on the internet. Obviously, you can believe it.
Yeah, I saw it on TikTok.
See, there you go.
90% of the tickets. No, I didn't.
You know what I did see on the internet though?
What's that?
I saw that Casey Tominaga was going hard.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
He was in his bag of tricks. He was hitting threes from regular 3-point distance. He was hitting threes from the logo. I think he hit one, maybe two. He pumped a couple times, got the crowd kind of standing up, and then passed out of it. And then his ability to move without the ball is just fantastic. And the speed at which he gets a pass to his chest underneath the basket and tosses it up is fantastic. Like, there's no way you can block him. Like, he's so fast with it.
Well, you can see him developing, at certain times, especially last year, if you take out his 3-point game, he was pretty much out of the game. Now he's worked on, especially kind of, driving, getting his own shot. Cutting has been beautiful, and how well it works with Derek Walker. So he's finding different ways. You try to take away, you scout him well, you try to take away the three. That's not all he can do. And again, I think that he needs to be a guy that gets up 12 shots a game one way or the other. If he's 0 for 12, if he's 10 for 12, I think that even if he's a big part of the scouting report coming in for the opposing defense, it's going to open it up from other guys, especially now that he's kind of become. It's weird to say this about such a smaller guy, but he's kind of a 3-level scorer because he finishes so well at the rim in unique ways. And he's just one of those guys. I don't want to say he's like at any time. I guess he's a good bad shot maker as well. So
he's the guy
you're kind of too frustrated with
at the end of the shot clock. He's the guy you're looking for.
Yeah,
because he's gonna take the shot, and it's actually gonna be a pretty decent shot. Like it's gonna look like a bad shot, but he's made that so many times.
Made a step back contested 3 at the end of the shot clock.
Exactly. He's made so many of those shots that honestly, for him, it's a pretty decent shot. But as you said, kind of a 3-level scorer. I really think the 3v3 Olympic basketball really helped him in his ball handling and his ability to finish around the rim. You're not going to ask him to run the offense. You're not going to ask him to do all of that. But what you can do is get him the ball, let him go to work a little bit, and he'll be able to drive past somebody, get to the rim. And if he's not going to, lay it up off the, kiss the glass with a really high arcing layup, he'll be able to get the ball to somebody cutting underneath or Derek Walker, who's waiting underneath in the paint, who's also a fantastic finisher around the rim.
Well, it's interesting, too, that you said that because I hadn't thought too much about his ball handling ability because he can get his shot. He can create a shot. But he does seem a lot more effective, at least opening up Nebraska's offense, too. You could see the attention that he got after hitting a few of them and running around the cuts. He's a danger when anytime he's cutting, anytime he's running up around the top of the key. So, even though he may be one of their best ball handlers and they don't really use him that way. And probably just because of what we're saying, he's so effective as an off-ball player that you have to be worried about all game long. So I'm interested to see how much. He was inserted back in the starting lineup. Such a great sixth man because he can kind of provide you with that spark of offense if he has it that day. This team is where they're at. They need his offense on a daily basis, or in at least need him to be even getting at least attention on the offensive side. So,
somebody that really helped, not in the scoring column, but just overall his game helped Nebraska to that victory. Jamarcus Lawrence.
Oh, absolutely.
He finished with 10 and 9, almost a double-double for the freshman. But the 3 that he hit towards the end of the game, just a massive shot that he hit, and his ability to, kind of run the offense when Sam Griesel's out of the game is really remarkable. He's doing a fantastic job for a true freshman being inserted, playing a decent amount of minutes with the 2 massive injuries that Nebraska suffered. Jamarcus Lawrence's kind of emergence in this game is a really welcoming sight, something that gets you a little bit more excited for the future. The rest of the season maybe, but the future. And I did see a fun little stat. I think it was back in Nebraska made the tournament in 2014, right? Okay. So in 2014, February 6th or February 5th, Nebraska got their 11th win. They went on to make the tournament. February 5th, Nebraska gets their 11th win. Not saying, and this was, I don't remember who the tweeter was, but I did see this. Not saying they're going to make the tournament, but,
don't close the door.
Anything is possible.
Yeah. Well, they've got several games left. I think it's down to 6 or 7 games left. None of them are top 25 competition. As we know in the Big Ten, the logjam at third place right now is beautiful. There's like 6 teams at 7 and 5. The Big Ten has a lot of good teams, no really great teams. Purdue lost this past weekend, remained at number 1 in the AP top 25.
Because everybody else
Because
lost.
there are no great teams in college basketball, right?
That's true.
I think that March Madness this year is going to be quite crazy.
Pretty sure like 11 teams in the top 25 lost this last weekend.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Well, that's college. That's kind of college basketball, though. I still kind of think back to like, and it just depends on your age or whatever. When you think about the best college basketball teams, I still go back to the late 90s, early 2000s, when guys that could get drafted as freshmen would stay till juniors or senior years. You just have teams knocked out. I mean, I think about those Arizona teams, those two teams, those early UConn teams in the 2000s, North Carolina, Kansas, whatever teams you want to throw in there. You know, you had Nick Collison and Kirk Heinrich as seniors, or you had Shane Battier and Jay Woods and Carlos Boozer and Mike Dunn. I mean, these teams were loaded, and they wouldn't win the championship because they're facing such good. I mean, college basketball. I sound like an old guy because you'll hear from anybody. As I say that, other people are going, "Well, you should have been around for the '80s because the Big East and '80s." And they're right. I mean, college basketball as a project, is kind of just hurt by being more middleman seemingly than college football to the NFL. It's always just kind of
it's the G League's G League.
Right. And it's become more so that over the years, but it's exciting one way or the other once March Madness comes. It doesn't really matter because those days are the best days in sports in my mind. So I can't wait this year. It's just going to be a wide open field. But back to Nebraska too, though, you're absolutely right. Jamarcus Lawrence in particular, I think Keisei Tamanaga, watching how he embraces this. Was this he was hot type of thing, or can he kind of carry this over? That's what you're looking at, even more so than wins and losses. If you're thinking about the future of Husker basketball, is this opportunity now for guys, and Lawrence is on that pace. All right, he's started 6 games in a row now. I think the first, as early in the season, even these first few starts, it's kind of like he's there. You can kind of see in the future he might be something that'll. And now he's developing into not like I kind of said it this way. This game in particular was kind of that way where it was like, he's not a starter because of injury. He looks like he should be a real starter. I mean, he's got the goods for it. So I'm interested to kind of see how he does. Guys, another guy, Sam Hoiberg. I mean, I know he's a walk-on. He's a coach's son.
Yeah, you want to say he's a walk-on. He's a coach's son. That's the only reason he's playing. But he's actually playing really well.
He played the most bench minutes of anybody. Part of that might be due to Wilcher and Breidenbach struggling a little bit, but he's taken that role on. And again, I don't expect him to play 20 minutes a game.
He's made the best of it.
But yeah, absolutely making the best of his opportunity. And another guy that offensively, interestingly enough, I feel pretty good about him with the ball in his hands if the shot clock's even winding down because he's got a good jump shot. He can get a pretty good shot at the rim. He's made a finisher.
He's made enough threes where he's a threat where his pump fake might get them up in the air. And he's not going to drive to the rim and try to get up among the trees. He's going to take a couple steps in. He's going to hit the mid-ranger because that is also butter.
And I mean, an excellent steal there late that pretty much all but closed it too. With him and with Keisei, their height, this kind of stature overall, is gonna hold them back defensively in like one-on-one battles or whatever. Sometimes you have to hide them in zone defenses. But in any case, doing the best with what they have and beating a Penn State team, almost knocking Penn State off the bubble is kind of how a lot of people are reading it because this is a good Penn State team. This is not just your normal victory over the bottom of the Big Ten. And actually, I don't know if they played their best game, but I mean, Seth Lundy was hitting everything.
Seth Lundy, 8 for 15 from the field. All 8 were 3-pointers.
Yeah. Andrew
he
Funk,
also threw in 7 rebounds, finished with 24 points. Funk 4 for 8 from 3.
Jalen Pickett could be an All-American type.
Jalen Pickett almost with a triple-double, 7 and 7 rebounds and assists, 15 points. They played a really good game, and it was a pretty clean game. Not a lot of fouls called in this one. Penn State had 15. Nebraska finished with 6, which, if you want to look into that as a Penn State fan, how could that be? There's so many. It was a pretty clean game all around. Not a lot of free throw shot, except for, obviously towards the end when Penn State started fouling close to 2 minutes left in the game to try and get back into it. And it almost worked, but Nebraska started making a free throw, started swinging the ball around and hitting some big shots.
Yeah, so I mean, I think you're excited if Nebraska now has to face a pretty hot Michigan. Michigan's not doing their best, having their best season, or they're not living up to expectations. Did beat Ohio State pretty soundly. Ohio State, by the way, not having a good season. Now they're at the cellar of the Big Ten, along there with Minnesota, who's a few games behind even Ohio State. But Ohio State really struggling. Kind of an interesting development in the Big Ten this season. But Nebraska's next matchup there against Michigan and Hunter Dickinson. So they'll have their hands full on Wednesday, but it's exciting. I mean, if Nebraska can put together again a few wins, who knows what's left in the season, right? I mean, like kind of what you're saying with the tournament team. Maybe you can go on a big run. I don't know if that's should be an expectation for this team. But I think a few good wins and these young players continuing to develop is what you like to see more than anything for Fred Hoiberg in this program moving forward. All right, let's take a quick break again here on the Ticket Water Cooler as we're up against break. Big NBA trade. I know not everybody loves the NBA. Myself and Rico, we do love the NBA.
Love it.
And Kyrie Irving was traded the other day. Lots of questions that go into it that even kind of involve your needs there with Jalen Brunson for the Dallas Mavericks side. So we'll kind of break down that trade, and we'll invite Nick in. He's not as big of an NBA guy, but I'm sure he's got some takes on that. And we can also get to plenty of other stuff. Lots in the sporting world, obviously, coming up a great weekend, heading toward another great weekend. We'll do that next year on the Ticket Water Cooler 93.7 The Ticket.
Ever think of having a career in plumbing or heating? Do you enjoy watching your favorite nice, comfortable space, taking a shower after a warm day? Well, everyone we serve at Bigger Staff Plumbing, Heating, and Air sure does. If you're interested in a career in plumbing, heating, and air, come join our team where you'll get paid while training. Experience required. Enjoy great pay and benefits in a friendly environment. Call Bigger Staff Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 402-466-8118 or apply online at biggerstaffs.com.
Joint pain can affect your quality of life and even be debilitating. Perhaps you've had trouble walking or even performing activities as simple as sitting down and standing up for years. There is good news thanks to QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics can assist with all types of pain in the knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints, whether due to an underlying chronic condition or a recent or even former accident or sports injury. Call QC Kinetics in Lincoln today at 402-205-4270 or to QCkinetics.com.
Rosen Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or 1501 Center Park Road.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known, but what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keep everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line. 1-800-QUIT-NOW. 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management. It has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Valentine's Day means chocolate. Valentine's Day has meant chocolate since 1861 when some guy first put chocolates in a heart-shaped box and slapped a ribbon on it. And it's been done that same way every single year. So you can go that route and be boring and predictable, or you can be better than that and get your chocolate from Beatrice Bakery. There's the decadent chocolate rum cake, the complex yet comforting chocolate fruit cake, or Cupid's real secret weapon, the chocolate-covered fruitcake squares. Beatrice Bakery, online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal. I know I can count on Action to help. In multiple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Stop asking your friends if they're hosting a party this Sunday and come for the real party instead. Join 93.7 The Ticket for the big game at Wings and Rings at 68th and O this Sunday and walk away with great prizes just for showing up. Why worry about making a great spread of food for the game at your house when you can enjoy all the great wings and more at Wings and Rings? It's the big game party with 93.7 The Ticket at Wings and Rings this Sunday at 68th and O.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler, brought to you by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the Ticket Water Cooler on 37. The ticket is time for the crossover with Nick Sainert of Happy Hours. Of course, it's coming up next. We were just talking during the break about some of the food we got from Lincoln's Pub. My favorite food probably of all food, just in general, is buffalo chicken wings. And just tried some from Lincoln's Pub. Haven't had that before. Some of my favorite in Lincoln. You can kind of think the buffalo sauce. Yeah, you always got to do a little bit of a twist. You can't go wrong with buffalo sauce. I love it either way, but I love to kind of taste a little bit of a difference just to know yours is a little different than any standard buffalo sauce that I pick up or get from a different restaurant. Oh man, Lincoln's Pub's buffalo chicken wings.
Yeah,
they passed the test. Oh yeah.
I would like to let the record show that I am eating salad as well.
As well.
How many wings did you eat before the salad?
3.
You can't eat salad at the end of
He's
the
balancing it out.
That's pretty good.
Balancing it out.
3 wings, salad, 3 more wings.
Yep. Salad.
With more salad.
And
You can't eat salad at the end after drinking like soda and all
I'm
that
eating
stuff.
the wings. I'm eating the wings for my protein
It
after
doesn't
my
help.
workout.
Yeah, that's good.
What about the pizza?
Smart. Well, the carbs.
Yeah.
It's necessary. You need carbs. I gotta get it all going.
There's a time to eat healthy and there's a time to eat just to make yourself feel good.
Look, I had a hard workout this morning. Right? I deserve this.
Okay. Whatever you say, pal.
I'm feeling great.
Big trade in the NBA yesterday. Mavericks end up sending Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, and a 2029 first-round pick, as well as a couple second-round picks to the Nets in exchange for Markieff Morris. Oh, and Kyrie Irving. The Nets plan to offer the picks acquired in the trade to build up their own roster. So it's kind of interesting to see what happens next. Stephen A. was saying maybe the Celtics might kick around the idea of trading Jaylen Brown for KD. Maybe both sides would be interested in that. But the Nets do have, they're going to have a choice to either kind of build up their roster. Remember, I'm not joking, Ben Simmons is still there. They still got some
I
guys.
saw that Ben Simmons has 0 trade value for any team
That's
around
right.
the league. Like nobody wants it.
Not on that, probably not on a big contract.
It's really tangled. I don't know how you can get it.
But
just need to know.
it's just kind of interesting. More than anything, obviously, first off, is Dallas here. And I like what Mark Cuban is doing. Kyrie Irving, at this point, they didn't extend him. So right now, it's kind of just a rental. But it's at least an idea. And if you're Dallas, I think the biggest thing is to continue to give Luka players, or don't have it sit there and say, well, he doesn't have enough help, because that's kind of been something that's kind of drawn Dallas back. They haven't hit it big in the free agent market. Now you can say, yeah, we know Kristaps didn't work out, but we tried to get you Kristaps. Kyrie doesn't work. We know it didn't work out, but we tried to get you Kyrie. So you're at least feeling like you're out there efforting to try to get him a superstar to work with. And we'll see. I mean, I know they're both kind of ball dominant. It's going to be a little bit different to see, one or the other kind of sitting there and spotting up for a 3. I think that'll be nice for a change for him. But what do you guys think about that plan in Dallas? Is that going to work?
I don't think it's going to work. Although Kyrie did attempt to take a back seat when James Harden was there. Obviously, it didn't work out. James Harden ended up getting traded, and they didn't win diddly poo. The Nets, after putting together their super team, have won diddly poo, haven't done anything, and everybody wants to say how bad New York is. I don't want to hear it. The Brooklyn Nets are a garbage organization. That's how I'm going to say that. But Kyrie Irving going to Dallas, I don't know how good it's going to be, because Luka, as you just said, extremely ball dominant, is able to kind of do whatever he wants within the fabric of the offense of the Dallas Mavericks. Now you add Kyrie Irving, who I'm sure can play off the ball, but when he has the ball in his hands, is one of the more exciting players in the NBA. So if anybody has to play to have success, I want to say maybe Luka off ball, but I think Kyrie is a better shooter spotting up. So maybe keep Luka on the ball, have Kyrie spot up, and we'll see what happens.
I think the games are going to be about 140 to 130. I don't know. I'm curious. I don't think it's going to work exceptionally well. But I don't know. I mean, I've been proven wrong in the NBA before, especially. I just think it's more enjoyable to look back at this. I mean, it was like the Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, KD, and was James Harden there? No, yeah, and Harden. And it was like there's all these memes going
Well,
around.
Harden was part of the
yeah,
trade
Harden
for
was part of
Simmons,
the
so not
trade
all
for
at once, but yeah.
Simmons, but it was like at one point, one of the guys was like, "Yeah, we're gonna bring a championship to Brooklyn."
Yeah,
and Kyrie Irving. I don't know if you guys know this. Kyrie Irving in the last 4 seasons. Do you know how many games he's played in?
He's played in like 75.
No, in the last 4 seasons,
Oh,
he's
4
played.
seasons.
He's played in 150.
Mm.
There are 82 in a single season.
Yeah, so let's listen to full seasons.
Yeah, so
Love it.
I mean, like you're sitting there going, like 2029 unprotected. First of all, like a 7th grader got moved yesterday, going from the Mavericks to the Nets. But like it's just crazy because first of all, that we're trading 2029 picks. That's shocking, and then like that made me go, holy crap. And then I don't know, just in general,
The kid's gonna come straight out of high school.
I thought it was a lot.
You thought it was a lot?
I thought the Mavs gave up a lot. Now I get what there's no I'm not doubting what Kyrie Irving can do on the floor. I'm not at all. There's just a lot that goes with Kyrie Irving.
Oh yeah.
How
much are you going to get?
You had his whole COVID stance, which necessarily not getting into that, absolutely not. But like you had that whole thing going on. You had the racial slurs that he came out with, or the anti-Semitic slurs that he had this last season or whatever. Whenever
he
it was.
retweeted.
Like his stance on things and all that. You had all this stuff off the floor going on with Kyrie Irving that it clouds and it covers up what he can do on the floor. And I just think that, like, once again, over the last 4 seasons, he played in about 150 games.
Yeah.
It just seemed, it felt like a lot to give up. Now we got Markieff Morris. Huh?
Yeah.
But,
there you go.
That's
that is a
trade piece.
tool. That is help.
But
Not quite Marcus Morris. But it's all right.
I felt like it was a lot. But once again, if it pays off in the championship, nobody's going to be arguing.
But it's interesting too because I think that Spencer Dinwiddie is the biggest piece that they gave up, which goes back to Brooklyn. He had a pretty good like 4 or 5 years there.
Yeah.
He was all. I mean, that's what Dallas has been like this adjustment to Kyrie. I don't think it's going to be a big adjustment because whether it was Jalen Brunson last year or Spencer Dinwiddie, as long as he's been playing. These are all kind of ISO players. These are all, they're not as good as Kyrie. So
I would say they're not the star power that Kyrie carries with him.
But they all, I mean, that's pretty much going to just continue. Dallas is going to ISO. Hopefully Christian Wood gets a rebound and kicks it out, or he can kick it out, and either Doncic or Kyrie are perfectly capable of being spot-up shooters. It's kind of strange.
Luka will get a 50-point triple-double, and Kyrie will pitch in 21.
Yeah.
That's how that's going to work.
But he's averaging 27, 5, and 5 on the year. Again, not playing all the games, but
that is also him playing in a lot of games. I don't know how many games without KD where he's the lone star because, again, Ben Simmons is doing practically nothing with the Brooklyn Nets. Do you want to know how the Brooklyn Nets dynasty from 2019 went?
I would love to hear it.
No rings. 1 offseason championship when they signed Kyrie and KD. 1 playoff series win. And 3 stars asking for trades.
You love to see it because their other super team, from earlier also sucked and failed with KG and Paul Pierce and Darren Williams and somehow Brooke Lopez was part of one.
Darren Williams was the dude.
I like Darren.
Who else was on? There was one other star I think that was in there. Well, Joe Johnson was still there.
Yeah, KG, Paul Pierce, Joe Johnson, Darren Williams, Brooke Lopez. Brooke Lopez was the star.
Yeah.
There have been so many iterations of a Brooklyn Nets super team, especially back when Jay-Z was a partial owner. I think he sold his stake in the Nets. But yeah, super excited for the Brooklyn Nets falling into mediocrity just as they should.
Let's pause quickly for station identification here on the ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Perth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The other thing here, too, was the Jalen Brunson factor is because Jalen Brunson was with the team last year. They let him walk on a big contract with the Knicks.
Worth it.
And now, so some people are saying, all right, how much, why didn't they just sign Brunson if their goal is to bring in Irving? Let's be honest. Brunson's an all-star. He's not Kyrie Irving still yet at this point. I don't think he ever will be.
But did you see what Kyrie wants as part of the trade?
Big
he wants 4 years and like $140 or some $1 million.
But Dallas isn't tied to that. This is to be a rental or a tryout period to see how it works. And if I'm Dallas, they went to the Western Conference Finals last year. They're hovering around 500 right now. I think it's a great move. At least, just if you go and lose the Western Conference Finals with the same team, you're not jumping you're not bringing in anybody. What are you really doing? So I think it's at least worth the move.
Apparently, they're not done with trades.
Yeah, and the
said.
trade deadline comes Thursday.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Kind of Kevin Love's been banished. It looks like he's going to be on.
He's
going
to get traded. Did you see what Phoenix offered CP3 for? CP3 and Jay Crowder for Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, they did. We talked about how the Nets are just kind of like a dumpster fire right now. Their owner, Joe Tsai, he didn't care where Kyrie got traded as long as it wasn't to the Lakers.
Petty.
Since that's what Kyrie wanted.
Yeah.
Petty.
And perfect.
Like, what
I
are
hate
we
the Lakers
doing?
as well.
Love it.
I just that's just kind of crazy to me.
Nick, this is the NBA.
I would not want to go to the NBA.
This is the NBA. This is why I love it.
Excuse me, I would not want to go to the Nets.
This is the NBA. This is why I love it.
I'm all about the NBA.
0 days since there was any drama in the NBA.
Always drama.
Like the Kyrie Irving, the trade last night or yesterday with Kyrie covered up the Pro Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Like very few people were talking about the Pro Bowl.
I forgot the Pro Bowl was yesterday.
To be fair, the Pro Bowl kind of does that on its own.
Well, yeah, it does. It does. But like, if Kyrie didn't get traded yesterday, I feel like there'd be more Pro Bowl.
I didn't even watch, and normally I watch like the skills competitions for the Pro Bowl. Didn't watch those either.
I'll just usually catch the reruns on like ESPN2 about a week later.
I watched like Peyton was pissed at the end of the game.
Yeah, like everybody was mad at Jalen Ramsey or whatever.
He like
I don't
trucks
know.
Tyreek Hill. Apparently, the players were allowed to tweet during the game, so all of them were like, "It's great."
Like,
They should
it
do
was
that in
fine.
real games.
No, they should not.
Allow them to tweet in real games.
Remember
I
how
want to know why people are arguing.
Remember
on the sideline.
how innovative it was for Tim Miles to get on this thing called Twitter at halftime and tweet?
Tim has been at the front of that stuff because just earlier this season he was mic'd up. Him and Richard Pitino.
I watched that game.
Loved
That was
that.
awesome. Yeah.
Now, I don't necessarily want that for like a Duke North Carolina game or a Kansas, Kansas Texas game. I don't want the coaches mic'd up for that necessarily. But those games, if you want to know a way to maybe make a Wednesday night basketball game or a Thursday night game between two mid majors that are somewhat bubble teams, a little more interesting as we get down the stretch, that's a way to do it.
And it's cool. I think they did that for Minnesota, and I'm blanking on who the other. They did that the Big Ten too. So
Really?
it's kind of cool to see. Get behind the scenes, just kind of see what the coaches, different styles, different approaches. Certainly different levels of frustration. If they did that with Hoiberg, it'd be hard to get. Unless that one game you get that technical out of them, you might not get much theatrics. But hopefully they do that one day because I'd love to see kind of that side of it for Nebraska.
It was hilarious because like last night, and we're gonna continue this conversation here in a couple minutes, but like last night, I caught myself with like three minutes left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like the vibes were high. Like we were all feeling good about Nebraska's performance last night. Like, dang, Casey went off for 30, and Jamarcus Lawrence is a rebound away from a double-double, and Derek Walker is facilitating the offense really well. He has 7 assists or whatever. Then you look at the score, and you're like, man, it's only a 6-point ball game. Why are we all so comfortable about this?
Well, it's just crazy, too. All Nebraska fans need in basketball is just a little bit of anything. This pros, you're still 2 games under 500. And I guarantee, Pinnacle Bank Arena is going to be stock full the next time Nebraska plays.
Rocket.
All you need is just a little bit of something to get us going here in Nebraska. Imagine someday if they actually have a lot of it or something. I think it'll be kind of crazy.
Hey, they beat an NCAA tournament bubble team yesterday. I can't complain.
Yeah,
It's a good win.
For Nebraska. We'll talk more about that win, more about the Super Bowl, and plenty more in sports coming up next year on the Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research, healthy adults